no, no, no. You are not your story, let it go. You are not your story, let it go. It's a figment of your imagination. It's fleeting and it's ever-changing, but you are not your story, no, no, no. Because you are light, because you are light, because you are light. You are not your body, no, no, no. You are not your body, no, no, no. You are not your body, let it go. You are not your body, no, no, no. Was given for your every pleasure, to temporarily the greatest treasure, but you are not your body, no, no, no. Because you are light, 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 because you are light. And we're radiant just like the oldest stars, and we permeate the thickest walls and shine right through it all. And you are not the drop, you are the sea. You are a reflection back at me. You are everywhere and every place. You are the divine, you are the grace. Every single star is a sun. We are not the many, we are the one. Because we are light, because we are light, because we are light, because we are light, because we are your story, let it go. You are not your story, no, no, no. You are not your story, no, no, no. You are not your story, let it go. You are not your story, let it go. It's a figment of your imagination. It's fleeting and it's ever-changing, but you are not your story, no, no, no. you are the sea. You are a reflection back at me. You are everywhere and every place. You are the divine, you are the grace. Every single star is a sun. We are not the many, we are the one. Because we are light. 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 You are not your story, let it go. You are not your story, no, no, no. You are not your story, no, no, no. You are not your story, let it go. You are not your story, let it go. It's a figment of your imagination. It's fleeting and it's ever changing, but you are not your story, no, no, no. Because you are light. Because you are light. Because you are light. You are not your body, no, no, no. You are not your body, no, no, no. You are not your body, let it go. You are not your body, no, no, no. Was given for your every pleasure, to temporarily the greatest treasure, but you are not your body, no, no, no. Because you are light. 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 And we're angels like the oldest stars. And we permeate the thickest walls and shine right through it all. Well, you are not the drop, you are the sea. You are a reflection back at me. You are everywhere and every place. You are the divine, you are the grace. Every single star is a sun. You are not your story, no, no, no. You are not your story, no, no, no. You are not your story, let it go.
Welcome to the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Nestled between the Inner Harbor in Baltimore and the National Harbor just south of the nation's capital, the suburban city of Columbia offers easy access to both, where you find no shortage of activities, entertainment, and sightseeing. With a population of approximately 104,000 inhabitants, this thriving, diverse, planned community, developed by James Rouse, was established in 1967 with the goal of enhancing the lives of its residents. Columbia boasts good schools, fine restaurants, private homes, condos, and apartments, hiking trails, music venues, malls, and local shops. Founded in 1983, the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, also known as CCSL, currently conducts services at the Hawthorne Center in Columbia and has done so since December 1984. Who are we, and who are we looking for? We are a collaborative, supportive, loving, and fun-loving community welcoming all who join us. We take pride in the programs we offer and the events we hold. One of our greatest needs now is to rebuild our community into a thriving spiritual home that realizes our full potential. We know that the perfect minister is awaiting our call. Our new minister is creative, collaborative, welcoming, enthusiastic, embodies inclusivity, fosters open and healthy dialogue, embraces and empowers shared leadership, and is committed to pastoral care. Our aspirations are growing our presence in the community at large, as well as within CSL, developing a broader equity and inclusion focus, increasing volunteerism, rebuilding thriving youth and teen programs, creating a community abundant in membership and resources. We also are committed to continuing and enhancing existing programs, such as the Women's Group, the Bookstore, SOM Magazine Group, SOM accredited classes, workshop offerings, free or low-cost foundation classes, and our annual volunteer event, Thanksgivingness. Welcome to the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Nestled between the Inner Harbor in Baltimore and the National Harbor just south of
You are not your story, no, no, no. You are not your story.
us as we sing together, Opening Up in Sweet Surrender by Christy Snow. You'll find the lyrics on the screen. Sing with us now.
I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening up, I am opening up, I am opening up,
I am opening up. Isn't it wonderful to just start our time together just singing and sharing life and love? We are opening up. So I now invite you to set an intention for this week. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink into the feeling of that intention right now as you open to receive Spirit's guidance throughout our time together. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce today's amazingly talented, I can't say guest artist because she's our own, our beautiful, our wonderful, the amazing, the awesome Felicia Taylor. Come on.
Thank you, Eamon. Good morning, CSL Columbia. So I'm going to be doing, I'm going to say this now before I even sing this song. There are some lyrics on your chairs, and it is going to be to the last song I'm going to sing. I'm hoping, maybe some of you might know it, and even if you don't, I was thinking maybe you could sing the chorus along with me, because I feel like it's the perfect time of year to start and opening with like a nice affirmation of I am, because I am is one of the most powerful things you could say before any sentence. So we will get to that later, but I wanted to say it now. All right, so this song is mine. It's called God Within.
I walk for miles to get out of the shadows, following, listening to the voice that speaks within. And I know it's bigger and better than anything I know. I can feel it in my soul. I like to call it God within. He lifts me up, won't let me down, no matter what is happening all around. I've got the God within, guiding me to be the peace that we all really need in this world. Yeah. I once was lost and now I'm found. I had to figure out how to get it out. So I sat down and began to pray. Yeah. I sat and listened, and that's when it happened. Then my life started changing from that day. I like to call it God within. He lifts me up, won't let me down, no matter what is happening all around. I've got the God within, guiding me to be that peace that we all really need in this world. I know there is nothing that I can do through you. Feeling is believing when it comes to you. I like to call it God within. Lifts me up, won't let me down, no matter what is happening all around. I've got the God within, guiding me to be the peace that we all really need in this world. You know it's God within, lifts me up, won't let me down, no matter what is happening all around. We've got the God within, guiding me to be that peace that we all really need in this world.
Thank you, Felicia. Now, that's what you call the full package. Beautiful, great singer, wonderful songwriter. Who could ask for more? And she's ours. Thank you. If this is your first time at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you and thank you for joining us today. We want you to know that no matter who you are or whatever your spiritual path, you are welcome here. There are a variety of ways to connect and engage in community. We invite you to continue watching the slides at the end of the service for announcements on events, classes, etc. Links with more details can be found on our website calendar at columbiacsl.com/events. Or feel free to email us at info@columbiacsl.com for more information. So, let's just breathe and let us now prepare to consciously engage in spiritual practice together. We invite you to just settle in center yourself in this moment and find that sacred place within where spirit is all there is. We will have a contemplative reading by Mindy Derrick, and then a guided meditation and affirmative prayer by licensed practitioner Reggie Camp. Mindy.
Today's reading is from Science of Mind magazine, Daily Guide for January 9th, 2023, by Reverend Dr. Marilyn Louise Leo. We begin with two quotes. Norman Cousins in Anatomy of an Illness, quote, "Laughter is inner jogging." And by Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind, page 145, quote, "A realization of the presence of God is the most powerful healing agency known to the mind of man," unquote. In the early 1980s, we at the Science of Mind Center in Medford, Oregon, may have been among the first to experience live streaming. Norman Cousins, a well-known author who experienced a serious illness, met with a group of nurses to tell his healing story and to broadcast the event live to closed-circuit television. Our group, hundreds of miles away, enjoyed this live presentation. He shared his experience of healing through laughter. I think he called it belly laughing. It comes from deep within. He told us stories of watching movies, such as Laurel and Hardy and Abbott and Costello. He learned not only to giggle from the surface, but to allow the humor to penetrate his whole body. Though the disease he experienced sounded dire, Cousins continued his own therapy from his hospital bed and later at home, day by day reviving his health. You too can find a solution, if you will, to any problem. Perhaps it is temporary, but whatever it may be and however long it lasts, if it is for your highest good and your healing care, know that it begins with an idea of good. Your subconscious mind is awaiting your direction, whether it is for your healing body, a relationship, financial abundance, or any other adventure you face. Notice I say adventure. Look at it as an adventure. What is next? Your mind, your attitude, your thoughts can and do guide you. Direct each thought toward a new and better experience. Know deep within yourself that there is only one life, and that is the life of God. It is your life and your experience now. Please join me in today's affirmation. I accept total healing of my body and my affairs because I know the infinite healing presence is in charge.
I accept. I am. Powerful, powerful words. Let's remember that as we really go into that heart space. Let's take this time to know, to accept, to recognize that light within our own beings. Light of truth, light of peace, light of healing. It's all energy, and it's all one energy. Straight from the source of the divine. feeling that light grow as we recognize it even greater. Seeing that light within spreading out from our own bodies into the world. Connecting with other light. Supporting all of us. I am. I accept. I can. I know. Let's come from this place of awareness. Let's create an even better journey, an even greater adventure. And please know with me that there is only one divine intelligence that is absolutely everywhere present and everywhere active. It is the source and substance of all there is. From the farthest stars in the farthest galaxies to the tiniest cells of our bodies and in all the spaces in between, there is only one. I call it divine intelligence, I call it spirit, I call it God. Whatever I call it, I know that it is right here where we are. And so I know that each one of us is connected by this power. We are connected to each other, we're connected to all life. And so from this connectedness, I speak this word, and I know that today's service is blessed and is a blessing. We're so grateful for each person here, each heart and hand that contributes to this service. Grateful for the message and the music and the consciousness that is here, being raised, being praised. I'm so grateful to speak this word and to know that this community is ever expanding, ever growing, ever making an impact on the world. And so with gratitude, I simply let this word go, knowing that it is so as we state it and claim it and we allow it to be. And so it is.
Thank you, Mindy, and thank you, Reggie, for that beautiful spiritual practice. So, would you like to have more of that sacred spiritual connection? Good, because our practitioners and ministers are eager to support you in living from that space. Feel free to email your prayer request or your request for counseling to prayer@columbiacsl.com. And we will hold your truth in prayer throughout the week. And now, I'm delighted to bring back to us once again our own Felicia Taylor.
All right. All right, this song is a song I just discovered a week ago. It's by Doe, and it's called What I'm Waiting For. I hope that you like it as much as I do. I'm waiting on a word only you can
speak. Waiting on the wind only you can bring. Feels like healing, freedom, resting, revelation. Waiting on the world only you can speak. Come on, word and spirit. Come on, move the mountains. Lead us through the desert. Lead us to the fountain. Springs of living water. Leave me thirsty no more. I know what I'm waiting for. I know what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting on a wave only you can break. Ooh, I'm waiting on a move only you can make. Feels like heaven pouring out. The love is coming down. I'm waiting on a wave only you can break. Come on, a word and spirit. Come on, move the mountains. Lead us through the desert. Lead us to the fountain. Springs of living water. Leave me thirsty no more. I know what I'm waiting for. 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 A voice is canceling out the noise. I'm drawn to the sound. A voice is canceling out the noise. I'm drawn to. I know what I'm waiting for. 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 Word and spirit. Come on, move the mountains. Lead us through the desert. Lead us to the fountain. Springs of living water. Leave me thirsty no more. I know what I'm waiting for. 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 I know what I'm waiting for.
If I could whistle like this, I would, but I can't. So. Thank you, Felicia. That was wonderful, really wonderful. And so now I get to bring to us our speaker for today, Reverend Jenna Wexler, our own Reverend Jenna Wexler. She is a retired ordained CSL minister and has been a part of this community for 20 years. She is divinely guided by Spirit and currently working on her first book. All right, looking forward to it. Today, Reverend Jenna will help us understand the thing itself, the first chapter of the Science of Mind textbook. Please help me welcome Reverend Jenna Wexler.
I'm just going to set these underneath. Just a minute. Okay. Thank you. That feels better. Good morning.
Good morning.
On this beautiful, crisp winter day, Welcome to all who are here, all who are with us through the ethers, and those who will be watching at some point in the future. We welcome you all. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. The thing itself, well, it's customary, it's a tradition. We don't have many traditions in this teaching, in this philosophy, but one that we do have is that we start the year, the month of January, in reviewing the first 4 chapters of this book. It's a bit heavy, right? It's big. And it's heady, it's abstract, and it's filled with great wisdom. Yes. Great wisdom. The first 4 chapters are just a teeny little bit of this. The first chapter itself is only 10 pages. But it is jam-packed. And there's a lot of terminology, there's a lot of concepts, there's a lot of ideas that aren't too common in the world. So I'll be your tour guide and your translator today.
Come on.
You know, it's universal since the beginning of time for humans to wonder about what is life? Where did we come from? Where are we going? And all traditions, all cultures have had their own way of trying to explain this, make sense of it to themselves. And what are they talking about? Who is that creator? Because we somehow know that there's something more than us, something more than the earth, something more than all of nature. And what is that something? We can't see it, right? So here we are, physical beings with physical eyes for the physical world, but we're believing in something that we don't see. That takes a lot of trust and faith. So, who is that creator? And how did creation come forward? We don't have a creation story in this philosophy, but we know that a lot of traditions do, whether it's Buddha or White Buffalo Calf Woman or whatever. And we want to figure out what's our relationship to that creator that we can't see and we can't physically hear and we can't call on the phone, right? But we can listen. We can go within and listen. And how does life work? So, marketing has been an area of my professional work. And so I'm thinking about, let's sort of think about cars, but let's think about other faith traditions as well. And so let's do a little comparison here. Most faith traditions, as we said, has a creation story, whereas science of mind, religious science, is what we practice, the philosophy of. We just say, Creator is, God is. Infinite, eternal, always existing, right? Traditions look at how do we relate to this creator, this God figure. In science of mind, we say we're one with source, we're one with creator. We are an expression of that creator in physical form. A lot of the traditions, not all of them, for sure, see humans as separate from that deity. And we know that we are inseparably one. How could Creator not be part of its creation? It is that from which we've come. And so we are inseparably one. We may not look the same, but we're inseparably one. A lot of traditions are about what to think. And we instead value thinking. We know that thinking, every thought is creative. It invokes that creative process. And so we're not focused on what to think, but we value how to think. And that's what we teach. And a lot of the traditions have a lot of do's and don'ts. And things that people get punished for. What we reflect on and what we believe is in choice and consequence, that it is a creative process. And And we've skipped all the dogma. We focus on principles, which are spiritual truths that are the same every time for everyone without question. And that's a standard across all time. So this philosophy, for those who are unfamiliar with it, is the work of Ernest Holmes. He didn't invent this. He read voraciously. He was connected with traditions, Eastern and Western. And what he did was he distilled out those core spiritual concepts, and he synthesized and wove them together into this philosophy. The timing on this, he first published in the mid-1920s. This version is from around 1938. So this represents a compilation of things he had written, from talks that he gave, and it's sort of like, I've been in this and doing this for a while, let's put this together so that there's something that people can go to and study and learn from and practice. So Ernest Holmes is thinking about the thing itself. One of the things we can say about it, because we can't really define God, right? But what can we know is that everything in the world is about power and energy. And so we know that we can deduce that, the Creator is this, as Ernest Holmes would say on a lot of his radio talk shows, there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it for a definite purpose. So that power is out there, God is. We are part of creation. We can use it. But we need to learn what it's about and what it does. So let's think about, we're walking into a car showroom. We're thinking about a car. And what do we want to know? We want to know, well, what does this car do? What is it? Somebody who had never been in a car, we would say, well, it's something that rolls, that we can sit inside of. It keeps us dry if it's wet outside. Or we'd start doing that sort of thing, because of the 4 chapters, that's where we are. What is this thing, right? Now, the 3 chapters to come are the way it works. Well, how does a car work? You start it up and you put it in gear, and there's that type of thing about how it works. Well, what does it do? Well, if you're a car, if God's a car, then it helps us move from one place to another, right? And how do we use it? So I draw that analogy because so often we're very abstract, conceptual, and it's always good to ground it in some frame of reference that makes sense to us. That helps us to apply it. And so let's start talking about the thing itself and what's in this chapter. First page is actually page 25. And there are 3 paragraphs. He starts out strong. There are 3 bold assertions that he makes. The first one is about religion and science. That's different, but oh, wait a minute, we're called religious science. Okay, all right. He talks about freedom from bondage. And he's not talking about physical slavery so much as how do we get caught in something that we feel trapped in? Whether it's some circumstance in the world or something that we do to ourselves. And where does that come from? And a teaching of love through law. So I'm going to read a few things here from that opening page. We look forward to the day when science and religion shall walk in hand through the visible to the invisible. When science and religion shall walk hand in hand. And through quantum physics, which I don't believe existed when Ernest Holmes first started, we are starting to see that coming together of science and religion. Relation must keep faith with reason and religion with law. Science must justify faith in the invisible. Those are bold assertions. That is paragraph 1 about the thing itself. But he's really talking about not so much the thing as what needs to be established and come forward. And then he goes on to say, to suppose that the creative intelligence of the universe could create humans in bondage and leave them bound would be to dishonor the creative power which we call God. To suppose that God could make humans as an individual or as individuals without leaving them to discover themselves would be to suppose an impossibility. The seed of freedom must be planted in the innermost being of humans, and that humans must make that great discovery for themselves. And he refers to the parable of the prodigal son. And I like to refer to it as prodigal child because we are all that prodigal child on our own discovery of ourselves and who we are. He then says, why then is man weak, poor, and afraid? The science of mind deals with these questions. The truth points to freedom under law, and the inherent nature of humans is forever seeking to express itself in terms of freedom. So, 3 bold assertions that are rather uncommon, but he's saying bondage, all that we suffer from is not God ordained. Bringing it back, bringing it home to that thought is creative. And that we are creative beings because we are thinking beings, and every thought creates. Now there's another basic here that's really important, is that he says the universe never plays favorites. So how many times, maybe even at the football game this afternoon, there's going to be people praying that the Ravens win and the other team loses. In war, people may pray that one side wins over the other. Without regard for we are all humans, we are all child of God. We are all precious and pure. And so Ernest is very unequivocal about this. He says the universe never plays favorites. It is no respecter of individual persons. Now in politics, some people have leverage. And things may go a certain way based on that power of the individual, but not so in the spiritual world. He says God does not play favorites. Your prayer is not going to be more powerful than your prayer. There's not something we can do to convince God to change the game for us individually. So in other words, what we know is that prayer is not about changing God's mind. It's about changing our consciousness so that we are showing up differently. We are showing through that prayer how we can release whatever it is that is troubling us, how we can embrace whatever it is that we are wanting to experience next. And these are universal principles that work every time the same way for everybody. No exceptions. And then there's a key there. He says, an ignorance of this natural law does not excuse you from the consequence. So we can't claim, I didn't know. It calls us to mindfulness and responsibility. And that's really hard. He also said, this is simple, but it's not easy. And one of the reasons it's not easy is because we have to be mindful. It calls us into that mindfulness, that responsibility of, wait a minute, what am I thinking? What am I asking for? What am I setting up for myself versus the rest of the world? Doesn't play favorites. And ignorance does not excuse us. But a lot of times we're operating on default because that is part of the thing itself. We just are on autopilot with whatever we've been programmed with. And in a way, that is a form of ignorance because we're on autopilot. We're not in our hearts, we're not in our understanding, we may not be in our highest frame of reference.
Yes.
And so why do we use the word science in our teaching? From a marketing standpoint, if I was coming forward with a new product and there was all the branding considerations, would I call it religious science? Honestly, probably not. And the organization over time, because we're closing in on almost 100 years since the first publication, they've gone through this cyclically, like what else could we call ourselves? But why is science so important? Well, first of all, that first paragraph of the first chapter talks about religion and science as part of the same fabric, wharf and woof, right? But also, here's why. It's based on principles. So Holmes talks about, in the realm of science, there are scientific physical principles, and they work the same time, every time, for everybody. What's an example of this? I know we use this example a lot. Gravity. Now, we may have scientists who are trying to figure out levitation or how to defy gravity, but basically, we all are subject to gravity. Our whole life is built and organized around the fact that gravity exists and how that shapes how we move about, right? So Ernest made this wonderful connection, and he said, the same is true in the spiritual world. There are spiritual principles that work the same way all the time for everybody without exception. And we can count on that. We can lean into that. We can step into that with trust. And so that's what calls us into learning what those spiritual principles are. And because they work the same way every time, all the time, for everybody, he said that's, in the spiritual realm, it's working like it does in the scientific realm. So that's where he came forward with religious science. And he goes on to talk about mind. Because creator, we have hundreds of words, perhaps thousands, that we could use as descriptors, adjectives of creator, of God, without ever being able, because we are of God, we are God in expression, but we are not all of God individually. We don't have that we have access to that universal mind. Our use of our mind is within that encapsulation of universal mind. But they're not exactly the same. We're a bit of a subset, and that helps us to be individual, to be unique, to be distinct. It adds interest. It seasons the pot, right, of life. And that it's all about consciousness. So he goes on in chapter 1 that there is this limitless power of God that we can use. It's for human use. But the thing to know is, just like driving a car, you've got an engine that can go, right? But if you keep going, you might run into something. So you also need to know, wait a minute, how do I maneuver here? There's things called brakes, right? Or, for example. That power is there for us to use. We need to learn how to use it. And that will be chapter 3, or chapter 4. It's in the 4, right? And he says that understanding that we are part of this oneness of all creation of the universe, that we are God in expression, and that thought is creative. He said that is the greatest discovery for humans of all time. And that's what brings us to that need to be mindful, on our toes, aware in every moment. There's a sentence that he has. He says, and he's referring to this as law, that spirit is thought that thought is creative, but there is another component of creator, which we call law. Now, law in this context is not like the laws of the land, per se. Rather, it is this, I almost want to use the word mechanism, but that sounds a little bit too machine-like. It is this part of the thing itself that converts that thought, that desire, that feeling into some form of experience or manifestation.
Come on, yes.
Right? And so if you look at the diagrams in the back of the book, he talks about the masculine and feminine principle, divine feminine, divine masculine. And so it's a wonderful analogy to us in that there is that which is the inception of something that is conceived. And in the divine feminine, it is that which is bringing forth into form which was invisible. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And that we are not punished by this law. So when we break a law out there, whatever it is, there's something that often happens. But he said, we don't believe in punishment under the law, that it is a matter of cause and effect, of choice and consequence. And so that's part of the mindfulness, I am wisely choosing, and I know that I'm choosing the consequence I'm willing to undergo as a result of making this choice. Let's see. And he emphasizes the need for trust. And isn't that one of the things that challenges us the most?
Yes.
In relationships, a breach of trust, whether it's in a corporate setting or a personal relationship, a breach of trust is, the game breaker, right? And how does that get repaired and rebuilt? And so, it's difficult. He said it's simple, but it's not easy. And part of that is that we need to trust something that we can't directly relate to, that we can't talk to, and yet we need to trust it. Because once we do, we can lean in. And once we lean in, we're open and receptive to all the good that can come forward for us. But it can only come forward through us to the degree that we are willing and allowing for that good to be received. And so trust is essential. That is part of the thing itself. And he says, because we are part of God's creation, God is divine and sacred, that we each automatically are divine and sacred, just by being. So I'd like to recap, because this is a lot, isn't it?
Yes.
And he has so many different ways of saying it. As much as I, over the years, as much as I have studied and reread that chapter, there are times where I just go, wait a minute, what's he saying here? And he says it in a blend of different ways. So let's recap about the thing itself. It is immutable. It is something we cannot define. It is the allness and wholeness of all creation. It is everywhere present in every moment, in every situation, including us. It is eternal. It is power, and it is the power of love. And that love coming forward in our experience through law, which we can learn how to use for our own specific benefit. It's a good that we can use. And we intend to use it well, but there is freedom of choice. We are inseparably one with this thing itself. I keep, in preparing for today, I keep remembering Moses on the mountain with the flaming bush. And what is said is, I am that I am. But I always think of it in a different inflection, and that is, I am that. I am. As part of creation, that we too are divine and sacred. That spiritual principle works the same way every time with everybody. There are no favorites. And it's not about changing God's mind. It's about changing our consciousness. Law responds to our thoughts and our feelings. I think of it like this giant catcher's mitt that says, yep, got it, okay. Yep, okay, I got it. Okay, here it is. That's law, that response. If it doesn't question, it doesn't say, wait a minute, no, you don't get that today. No, it just says, yes, here. Yes, here. That bondage and suffering are not God ordained. And so it takes us to that point of saying and knowing, change our thinking, change our experience. It puts us in that power, that empowerment. And ignorance is what takes, when we're operating in that ignorant point of, well, I didn't know that, or, well, I didn't know my thought would have that effect. We've disempowered ourselves, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's up to choose. How empowered do I want to be? What can I lean into? What can I know is firm ground under me, while trusting something completely invisible that's all powerful? For we know that life is always that spiraling, that circulation, that ongoing passing from invisible to visible, formless to form. And that is part of life. Thoughts are formless. Thoughts are invisible. And yet they have the power through wise use of law to come into form as we choose. We get to choose our thoughts and feelings. In every moment, we are always at that choice point. So we are always at that point of consciousness and empowerment. And so what thoughts are we choosing? Fearful, obstructive, liberating, free, highest and greatest good for all. That is the thing itself. So please join me. Let's go within. Together we know that this thing itself, this thing we call God, is the allness and wholeness of absolute power, infinite, eternal, everywhere present, in every moment, in every situation. This perfect power and presence is that which is most high, most pure, always and only loving, without measure, without condition. It is the allness and wholeness of goodness ever present, everywhere, in every moment. And we are inseparably one with this. This is our truth. And so we know this together. And I speak this in the I am on behalf of all of this, all of us. I am inseparably one with the creative power and presence that I call God. I know that infinite goodness of every manner is present. It is present right here, right now. I may not be able to see it, touch it, feel it, smell it, but it is present and it awaits my direction, my use of the choice I make. Knowing that as I make a choice, as I choose to affirm for myself something of my choice, because I am free to choose. I am always choosing, and first and foremost, I am choosing to be responsible, mindful, checked in, aware of who I am and what I'm about and what I'm ready to think next and go for next. And then I bring that into the context that I am divine and sacred, and that which I want to bring forward is divine and sacred. And so I choose from that consciousness of being a center, a point, a vessel through which God is expressing in this world. That light, that power is coming through me, and I am choosing to be that light and power and expression for higher and greater good, not just for myself, but in a way that is a greater and higher good for all. For all that we do ripples out. And so I am grateful. And if I am hesitant about this, I pray also for the courage, the willingness, the readiness that I can do this, and I can do this mindfully as a sacred and divine being. How blessed I am to know this, to understand this, to be in this relationship with myself and with God. And this is forever and always in every moment. This is how I bring forth a legacy. This is how I bring forth greater good in the world, by being that which I am in expression. And so, God, I say this. Wherever I'm unsure, I know that I am filled with all that shows me and prepares me to be in trust. And wherever this is calling me to change so that I live into what I'm asking for, what I'm declaring, that I am supported in every way to be in that readiness to fully receive. And that this comes forward in a way and at a pace that suits my evolution, my transformation, and my readiness to be that welcome vessel. I am so grateful that I understand this thing itself. Thank you. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Jenna. That was wonderful. You provided some really, really delicious morsels for us here. I got the best understanding of the law that I've ever received. Thank you.
Get the mic on.
Okay, move it back. Okay. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce once again wonderful Felicia Taylor. Sing, Felicia.
All right. I forgot to say this earlier. Happy New Year, everyone, and everyone at home there. So this is, if I can get this on, sorry. So, excuse me, as I was saying earlier, this song is called I Am, and thanks to Jamie Hudson Craig, I discovered Beautiful Chorus. I had never heard of them before, and I came across this song, and it just resonated with me so much. I've been doing a lot of self-care, reflecting and things, especially going into this year, and doing a lot of affirmations, I am, I know, and just affirming everything. And I wanted to share it with you so much that I thought it would be nice to print out the song. Many of you might not know it, or none of you at all, but like I said, I think it would be nice to do the chorus if you want to listen to me sing it, and then you sing it the next round, or you don't have to sing it at all, and it will be okay. But I thought it would be nice if you do want to join in. That would be great, because I feel like it's very affirming, and it's probably one of the most beautiful songs I feel like I've come across in a long time. So it is by Beautiful Chorus and India Ari. Okay.
Wonder, brilliance and grace, welcome joy and satisfaction, pleasure and strain. Welcome essence, beauty, presence, time, spirit, form, and space. Welcome excellence and every blessing, sacred and pray. What I seek, I am. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. All I wanna be, I am. What I seek, I am. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. Who I wanna be, I am. Ooh. Wonder, brilliance and grace, experience satisfaction, pleasure and strain. Welcome essence, beauty, presence, time, spirit, form, and space. Welcome excellence in every blessing, sacred and pray. What I seek, I am. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. All I wanna be, I am. What I seek, I am. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. All I wanna be, I am. I am the seed, I am a tree. I am a flower, I am the bee. I am fire and I am wind. I accept love and also I give. I am young and I am mighty. I am silent and I tread lightly. I am brave and monumental. I am modest, I am gentle. I am student and I teach. I am the sand and I am the beach. I am bees and I am power. I am bridge and I am tower. I am bees and I am wild. I am mother, I am child. I am many, I am few. I am God and God is you. What I seek, I am. What I wanna know, I understand. All I wish I could, I can. All I wanna be, I am. I am. Give yourselves a round of applause. That's great.
Thank you, Felicia. Thank you. Please join us next week as our very own Idalia Romero takes us through Chapter 2 of the Science of Mind textbook with her talk entitled, It Works If You Work It. Our guest musician next week will be Theta Phoenix, and we'll be virtual only, so we hope you will join us on Facebook Live, Twitch TV, or YouTube. You can find the link on our website homepage. And now it's time for conscious giving. We have just received, and we now can participate in the law of circulation by giving back. I invite you to just be still. Invoke feelings of love, gratitude, and abundance, allowing them to fill you and the space around you. And now let us speak our prosperity affirmation together. I know that the infinite abundance of the universe is blessing and expanding my offering for the good of all, and so it is. And now I invite our ushers to come up and pass around the basket for offering as we all sing together our thoughts and prayers. So it is. We gratefully receive your gifts and tithes. Your support means that we remain a vital and thriving center, contributing to a world that works for everyone. And so it is. Last but not least, and you can go. I get to take it? Okay. I'm sorry. I'll take the money shortly. Last but not least, we have a variety of ways to connect and engage in community. And we hope you stick around for the announcement slides after service and visit our website calendar for details and links to register for our events. Here are a couple of highlights. Today after service, join Judy Templeton and other Columbia CSL family at Charter Deli for Brunch Bunch. Enjoy fellowship and discuss how to be in service to each other and the greater community. Tomorrow evening, the Science of Mind magazine group, facilitated by Carol Pearson, will meet virtually at 7 p.m. On Wednesday at 7 p.m., join Idalia Romero for Prayer Circle. We are calling in our new minister. And speaking of that, we have a candidate. Yay! Join us and meet Reverend Rafe Ellis in 2 weeks right here at the Hawthorne Center. He will be providing the weekly sermon. We'll have a meet and greet with lunch provided, after which Reverend Rafe will facilitate a workshop. It's all free, but RSVP Reggie Cap so that she can get a head count for lunch. And finally, we don't have a town hall meeting this month due to the annual meeting scheduled for January 29th after service. At the annual meeting, you'll get updates from the board, operations, and our treasurer. And members will vote on the Board of Trustees and our candidate for senior minister. Now, you've already heard about Reverend Rafe, our candidate. So I'd like to now invite up Julia Mattis to share with you the slate for the next Board of Trustees.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy New Year, everybody, huh? What a great service to come back to. Good stuff. Good to see all your smiling faces. So, leadership is such a beautiful thing in a spiritual community, and it's such a gift that we give each other and that we give our community. And as board president, I'm so delighted and honored to announce the new slate coming up for the 2023-2024 leadership. We have Andrea Brockfeld, who will be running for her first term. We have B. Eamon James, who will be re-upping for his second term. Thank you, Eamon. Karen Brown, who I know is watching online, will also be running for her second term. We have Mary Jane Thompson, who will be running for her first term, and we have Don Henderson, who will be stepping into our advisory role, non-voting, that was vacated by the departure of Shamel. So again, if you could just give us a warm applause for the members of our community who are stepping into leadership, and I look forward to seeing you all on the 29th at our AGM. Have a great day.
Fancy. Okay. Are we ready? On behalf of our entire community, thank you for being a part of our spiritual family today, and we look forward to seeing you again. At the end of service, please remember to check out our announcement slides and our website calendar at columbiacsl.com/events to make sure you know everything that is coming up for our community. Now, I invite you to stand as we sing our closing song, I Release, by Ricky Byers.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I believe.
God is. We are God in expression. We are free in the Spirit. We are powerful co-creators, and we choose to use that power wisely, lovingly, in support of a world that works for everyone. Amen. And so it is.
See what you're going through. I know 'cause I feel it too. And I wrap myself around you and hold you close to my heart. I see what you're going through. I know 'cause I feel it too. And I wrap myself around you and hold you close to my heart. I send you love. I send you peace. I send you blessings for the changes that we need. I send you love. I send you peace. I send you blessings for the healing that we need. What you're going through, I know 'cause I feel it too. And I wrap myself around you and hold you close to my heart. I see what you're going through, I know 'cause I feel it too. And I wrap myself around you and hold you close to my heart. And I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the changes that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the healing that we need. You are a part of me, and I am a part of you. We can't help but feel each other deep in our souls. Yes, you are a part of me, and I am a part of you. We can't help but feel each other deep in our souls. So I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the changes that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the healing that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the changes that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the healing that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the changes that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the healing that we need. You are a part of me, and I am a part of you. We can't help but feel each other deep in our souls. Yes, you are a part of me, and I am a part of you. We can't help but feel each other deep in our souls. So I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the changes that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the healing that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the changes that we need. I send you love, I send you peace, I send you blessings for the healing that we need.